So I think everyone should have a practice like mine, like what I'm doing right now. Like I'm recording videos just talking about stuff. I think everyone should have a practice like that, especially if you don't like have friends available like 24/7. Like don't get me wrong, I have friends, but it's not like we're gonna talk 24/7. So you can make videos or you just journal like about what you think because most people don't even know what they think about shit. Like they don't know what they think about the world. They don't know what they think about certain topics because they never think about it. Like they never talk about it to somebody else. They never journal about it. They never think like they think like subconsciously like in their head just like mindlessly thinking, but that's not really like that is thinking obviously, but you need to like solidify what you actually think and decide what you think. Like what is your opinion? Like you don't have one because you never really thought about it, you know what I mean? So I think having a practice like this is actually really helpful. It's really therapeutic because you just figure out what you actually think about shit, you know what I mean? And yeah, like a lot of people like brainwashed today, and like when you're watching content you kind of pick up on people's beliefs like without even thinking about it. Like I would watch this one YouTuber called Hamza, and he said like video games are like terrible, you're stupid if you play them, and like I kind of agreed. I still agree, so that's not even a good example. I still agree with that. If you play video games like consistently, like come on, bro. But more of like another example, I guess, like maybe like Andrew Tate. Like if you watch Andrew Tate, you could like pick up on his beliefs, right? And that happened to me once with like money beliefs. Like I was like super oriented on money when like really I don't give a shit that much. Like I want to like make enough money for like living expenses and stuff, and then just make more because like why not, right? But that's what I think. And like views on like women, right? Like on what you think about women. Like most people don't know what they think about women. Like either they don't know or they've like assimilated somebody else's beliefs about women because they've never stopped to think about what they think about women themselves. And what do I think about women? I know I wrote it down in my journal somewhere, but let me just go off the rip. Like, that's how it should be. Like, you go off the rip and you just say what you think. You might be wrong. You might be surprised at what you think, but you have to just let it rip from your head and figure out what you think. Because if you have to figure out what you actually think and be honest about it before you can change your belief. You have to know what your current belief is anyway, right? Before you change it. So that's why I think it's really helpful. And it could be hard because it takes that honesty, that just radical, pure, brutal honesty. And which is why, like, maybe doing it in like a private practice like this video, like, no one's gonna watch this. Come on. No one's gonna watch this. So doing it like that and just letting it rip is like a really good way to figure out what you believe. So let's see what I think about women. What do I think about women in general? Like, yeah, they're humans, they're other people. Um, I think that they are like based on emotions for sure, that they operate off of emotions. And I think like they, because it's kind of a vague question, like a very broad question. So I'm trying to see like what I can come up with. What do I think about women? I think like they're obviously they're not like men. Like we're not the same. Come on, we're very different. We have different roles. We have different wants and desires, in a sense. And like I said, they operate more off emotions. We men operate off like problem solving, like logic, like the obvious answer, right? Like, and so you see a lot of people like who don't know that women like operate off emotions. They haven't read The Way of the Superior Man. That book is actually like very helpful in like understanding like female dynamics and male dynamics. So like a male is like more logic based, right? I'm not saying a female can't be logical. I think there's a lot of logical females out there, but still emotion is like their primary thing. Like they can obviously use logic, like they're human like us. It's just like they're heavily biased towards emotion and how they feel, and that comes through a lot. And it's not a problem. It's not an issue. That's just how they are. And men just being logic based is just how we are. Like we can like men can understand emotions, like read emotions too. They just have to like put effort into that. And women can use a lot. Like it's not like a one way. It's just a tendency, a very heavy natural tendency. That's what I think. And I think that I think that women are very heavily influenced by like the men, like the state of like the men, right? Like if the men are strong and like basically if the men are strong, like the women should be in order mostly. In order, I mean like they're not like doing stupid shit or like doing LGBTQ shit. I don't even know, bro. But yeah, I think when I don't know what else is to say about women. Like they're just other people. They operate a little differently. Men operate a little differently. Because like if you're in like a husband-wife relationship and your woman is like your wife is like, yo, you didn't bring the milk home today. And you're like, actually, I was going to like, bitch, you fucked up already. Like that's not what you're supposed to say. As a man, you're just supposed to be like, acknowledge that okay, the reason she's angry like isn't the milk. Like the milk literally doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's just that she doesn't feel she's in like an emotional state, like an angry or like upset emotional state, and she doesn't actually give a shit about the milk. Like she doesn't. She might give like 1% of a shit, but she doesn't give a shit, bro. It's something else, like with the relationship. Like you're not giving her attention, you're not giving her love, something like that. Because if she felt extremely loved and like paid attention to and taken care of, if you forget the milk, she doesn't give a shit. Come on, she does not care, bro. If she's loved, like she doesn't care if there's no milk. Like, oh, I'll just drink water. It's fine. We don't need milk anyway. Like that's how they'll be, bro. Yeah, that's what I think about women. Like they're just other people, and they operate a little different. And that's just what it is. It's nothing to be like, oh, so we gotta like worship them. We gotta like clean their feet for them and shit. Weak man shit, honestly. But yeah, that's what I think about women. Then you just keep rinsing and repeating this question like, what do I think about X? What do I think about college? I've talked about this in a previous video as a side tangent, and that's what I think about college. Like I might be wrong. I don't know, but that's what I think, and that's what I think to be true. Let me try to find an example of something like what do I think about? There's not really that many like broad topics though, because like I've kind of gone through like a good amount of them already. Like what do I think about hard work? What do I think about women? What do I think about men? What do I think about God and religion? What do I think about food? What do I think about like suffering in like other places? Like there's not that many broad categories that like actually matter. You can ask yourself what you think about stuff that doesn't really matter, and it's like whatever. I forgot this YouTube channel isn't supposed to just be me ranting to a camera. It's supposed to be me being an effective communicator. So let's kind of try to apply that for the next video, and let's down talk. What is down talking? Down talking is just talking normally, but then at the end of your sentences, you drop the pitch. You see how I did that? I get deep. My voice gets deeper at the end of my sentence. That's very effective in like having more authority, having like being taken more seriously, and just makes you more of like a charismatic person. Because the alternative is just not having any drop in your voice at the end of your sentence, and that's just kind of neutral. And then the bad thing you don't want to do is up talking. It's the complete opposite. When you finish your sentence, you end in a high pitched tone, right? So you're like, oh, so actually, I didn't take out the trash. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't take out the trash. Versus, I didn't take out the trash. Like that high pitched and like it just gives off a different vibe. And you're much more charismatic. You're much more like taking serious. Like it's just more beneficial to down talk, right? I haven't taken out the trash. Like they're not gonna question you. They're gonna be like, oh shit, he just probably forgot. But if you're like, I haven't taken out the trash, like you just sound weak. You know what I mean? There's good reason for like why this actually works and like scenarios where it works, but like generally it's just always better to down talk and to catch yourself when you're up talking and to keep down talking consciously. Like if you up talk on accident, just correct course and like start down talking, and eventually it becomes second nature. Sometimes you might forget, just remind yourself. And I think it's just a better thing to do in general. This is a shit video, but no one's gonna watch. I'm talking. I'm figuring out. See, maybe this wasn't the best like communication, hopefully you understand what I said because I spoke English, obviously, but it might not be like the most clear, concise communication, but this video still has benefit for me because I'm figuring out what I think. I'm talking more. I'm getting used to talking. I'm realizing that if you talk for 10 minutes straight, your throat gets dry and you need to drink water. That's why, or you need to swallow your spit, or you need to take a breath. That's why like people on stage have like water bottles next to them, like comedians or like public speakers. Like it's obvious, drink water, dry throat, but how many people have actually like talked for 10 minutes straight and realized that they have a dry throat? Like not many, I would say. So this was a beneficial experience. I love just doing like this is an easy work task to do to just practice talking to a camera. But I can look back on these, figure out what I used to think at that moment in time, and I can improve my speaking skills. So I think, and I can just store all of this on YouTube online for free. Like that's pretty insane. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Maybe there's like a dystopian future where like someone like watches all my videos and figures out everything that I think, or YouTube figures out everything that I think, and then I'm just like a slave because they know every move I'm gonna make. I don't know, but at least right now seems to be working. Seems to be pretty beneficial for me, so I'll just keep doing it. Hopefully you can hear me because I'm not using my freaking lav mic, my Rode Wireless Go 2. Hopefully this audio isn't like shit, especially when I have it like far away. Might have to max volume this to actually watch it. Who knows?